Hello and welcome to Authentic Traveling Podcast. I am your host, Abiosonia Ebenezer Bamigbayo. I am an investor in positive transformation through counseling, life coaching, speaking, and also writing books. Have you read my book yet? Inner Harmony, Resilience Beyond Chronic Stress and Burnout. This book is available on Amazon and also on my website, www.asebconsultancy.com. On this podcast, we talk about our mental health, emotional well-being, and also our holistic well-being in order for us to thrive authentically. This is a safe space for you to speak about soulful truth and talk about the things that will help you to come back to yourself and regain your self-awareness. Welcome to the Authentic Podcast once again. I have noticed that a lot of people, when they walk into a shop and they find a product that is made by fellow Black people or is produced by Black people or a company is owned by a Black person, they begin to think and doubt, oh, is this product going to be good enough? Is this product going to be of good standard? And this doubt and the fear thinking that because this product is made by a fellow Black person, this product might be substandard. And also, when you go for maybe someone submits a quotation, different prices for a job that you want to give out to different contractors, and then you see a white-owned company, you tend to lean towards the white-owned company because you believe that, well, yes, white people, they tend to do the best service, they tend to be follow the standard and all of that stuff. Or in some cases, you're one of those that you believe that if your children go to a white populated school, it means that they'll be taught properly. It means that they will excel well in their grade. It means that they'll have better opportunities in life because of them attending that school. And in other ways, this theory shows up is a lot. It could be that there are some people, they just believe that, oh, we have to work twice as much as other races in order for us to be noticed, in order for us to be validated, in order for us to be given the applaud that we deserve. If you exhibit any of this, there is a syndrome that is labeled with it, and it is called post-traumatic slavery syndrome. Post-traumatic slavery syndrome. This is a condition whereby, as a result of the intense slavery that went on years ago, there are still people that their mindset is not filled with fear. Their mindset is full of doubt. Their mindset is filled of dependency on other races in order for you to feel important. These are people, when they are with fellow Blacks, they feel they are very outspoken. They can speak very well. They can stand up for themselves. However, when they are in the midst of other races that are not Black, they become really subdued. They become really quiet. They can't stand up for themselves. And sometimes it can show up in the workplace whereby you are doing the bulk of the work and then you allow other people from other races take the glory for it. And then you do not say a word, you keep quiet because you feel like if I say anything, I might be picked on. So I'm just going to leave it. This is what we call post-traumatic slavery syndrome. It's a theory that was coined by Joy McCurry. I hope I pronounced that name right. Okay. This theory, I found it to be very, very true. Because even me, I remember that I used to do that. And how did it show up for me? It showed up for me through the way I speak. I remember when I relocated to the United Kingdom, when people speak and I pay attention. I'm like, oh wow. Sometimes I wish I could speak like them. When I just came, maybe that would make me stand out a little bit more, maybe to give me better opportunities and stuff like that. But after a while, I begin to realize that I speak good English. My accent might not sound British, but my accent is still very good. It shows where I come from. It shows my roots. It shows my history. Why should I be ashamed of my history? Why should I be ashamed of my roots? That is my identity. That is who I am. And when I got into teaching, I remember that when students, it became like a conversation starter. When I go to schools to teach and the student asks me, "Oh, Miss, where are you from?" I say, "Okay, have a guess. Why did you ask me?" I said, "Miss, because of the way you speak your accent. I can't pick up an accent from the way you speak." And I start to ask them, "Okay, give me a guess." Some of them are like, "Are you South Africa?" No. Some of them will ask, "Are you Jamaican?" No. It just goes to show that they are not well traveled, so they don't really know much. And then I begin to tell them I'm from Nigeria. And I say, "Oh, wow. I love the way you speak. Say that again. Say that again." And I was not embarrassed by it. I was not feeling bad about it. I was actually proud of myself that as a result of the way I speak, I can speak, I can have that open opportunity to then speak about where I come from, speak about my culture. So it was a great conversation starter for me to be able to speak about myself from an identity position, not just from my career as a teacher standing there to teach my subjects. Okay, so there's some people as well. Their name, I remember when I also go to the United Kingdom, my full name is Abiyayowa and my middle name is Sonia. I used to do it as well, right? It showed up in that. So when people ask me, I remember I used to say Abiyayowa or I would say Abiyes, like I was fondly called at home. Back home, I would say Abiyes. And they're like, "Hey, Abis? No, Abiyes. Huh? Abi? Okay." I was like, "You're not going to bastardize my name. Just call me Sonia." But after a while, I began to realize that my name, the meaning of my name is powerful. Abiyayiwa means born into wealth. And I love the meaning of Sonia, don't get me wrong. Sonia means wisdom. And I begin to embrace myself. And before you know it, I started calling myself Abia Sonia. So some people will call me Abies, some people will call me Abiyawa, some people will call me Sonia. I am not comfortable with it. I no longer feel like if you cannot pronounce it and you feel to call me Abiyayuwa or if you feel to call me Abies, I'll correct you. But if you want to opt for the version of Abies, that's also fine by me. If you want to call me Sonia, that's fine. But I'm no longer feeling the pressure to change my name into a Western name in order for you to be comfortable to calling my name. I am not very, very comfortable in my skin for me to be able to say, yes, that is my name. That is my full name. So if you want to call it like that, it's fine. If you want to call me Abby, that's fine. But my full name is Abiyayiwa. I cannot say it with my full chest like they will say. So I don't know how post-traumatic slavery syndrome show up for you, but I feel it's time that we begin to begin to analyze this. There's some people, if their children do not get into a school that is full of black children, they start feeling like, "Oh, I really did not want my child to go there." You are supposed to use the Ofsted rating. You're supposed to use the academic progress in that school to measure where your child wants to go. Not as a result of the population, whether it's full filled with black people or filled with other races that you do not want to be around with a lot. It shouldn't be like that. We should be able to stay with other people in a comfortable way without dimming our lights, without making ourselves feel small in order for us to feel like we can fit in. Why do you have to fit in when you can stand out? Why do you have to fit in when you can be outstanding? Why do you have to fit in when you can be the standard? So this syndrome, it shows up in a lot of things. In a lot of things. I remember when I used to have African shop and I used to have a bit of other grocery, other products. And I noticed that those products were not selling. Even the people who come into the shop to pick up African products. But when it comes to the Western product, they would rather go to the bigger shop to buy those products. Because in a way, maybe they feel like, yeah, if you go to the bigger shop, they have a better standard of goods than this your shop because you're supposed to be an African shop. You're not supposed to be African supermarket. You're not supposed to be a Western supermarket. It shouldn't be like that. When your people are presenting their item, you should be able to look at them and give them equal value the way you will give to our counterparts. It is so important that we do that. We begin to value our things. I know in recent time, a lot of people were telling me that, "Oh, Sonia, you really do love your African print." Of course I do. I love my African prints. If I have my way, I will wear more African prints than the Western print. I will make it in such a stylish way because even when I wear my African prints, I get loads of compliments either ways. I get people asking me, "Oh, Sonia, you are always in vibrant print. Where did you get this print from?" Another conversation opener. I begin to tell them this is from my country. And if there is any pattern that has a story behind it, I begin to share the story of what they stand for. We like vibrant colors because we are vibrant people. We don't do these dull colors. We don't do dull colors. And even if the color is dull, find a way to bling it up, add a bit of statement to it. It becomes a fashion statement. So I find a way to bring all of these things. So this is my way of saying if there is any um, African print out there that you want me to rock your products, please drop me a comment, reach out to me. I'm ready to rock your products on my podcast, right? And another thing is the hair, you know, our hairstyle. How do we do our hairstyle? Our hairstyle, a lot of people are not comfortable with it. Now, I'm so guilty of this. The first time that I had to carry my hair afro to work was January 2025. You heard me? Yes, you heard me. Most of the time, I have to braid my hair, I have to crochet my hair, I have to fix extensions to show up for work. But in a way, I just thought maybe as you get older, you get comfortable with your own skin, you get comfortable more with yourself. I remember when I did my locks in 2024 in March. The hair was so scanty. And I was like, oh, it's not full enough. I can't just go to work like this. And people will not recognize me. Because when you change your hairstyle, sometimes your colleagues can't even recognize you. They're looking at you funny, trying to look for you inside of you. Like, oh, you look different, Sonia. Oh, you look different. Oh, is my hairstyle? Have you changed your hair or something? And I begin to ask different questions. So when my micro locks was matured enough, I decided that it was time for me to launch my hair. And ever since, I have not looked back. I am one by one, I am breaking that post-traumatic slavery syndrome. I broke it in my fashion, I broke it with my hair, and I broke it in other things. I support black-owned products as well. It doesn't mean that because something is made by a black person is inferior. It is not always true. Yes, I know there are some things that are made substandard. However, there are loads of things that our people make with loads of standard put into it, with loads of authenticity put into it as well. So if you're out there, you are looking down on our African products because it's African made, this is me telling you, wake up. You are going through post-traumatic slavery syndrome. Break out of it. Break out of it. I'm going to talk about it, how to break out of it. If you're one of those that you feel like your children, when they're in the midst, when they're out, you don't want them to speak. You're like, bring your voice down, bring your voice down. I don't want everyone looking at me. I'm not saying we should talk very loudly, but allow your children to be themselves. You also be yourself. You don't have to speak through your nose in order for you to feel accepted wherever you are. This is my accent. I love my accent. I love it so much that I feel like it makes me stand out. I can decide to switch into a more British accent and start speaking in them. But how long am I going to sustain that? That is me appearing fake. It is me appearing fake. If you have the accent, naturally you can sustain it, then go for it. But if you know you're not going to be able to sustain it, why don't you just stick to the accent and speak the way that will be comfortable? As long as you are coherent, as long as you are eloquent, as long as you are audible, what is the challenge and what is the problem? These things is so important for us to be aware of post-traumatic slavery syndrome because our children are losing their confidence as a result of that. They are losing their confidence. You see your child when you tell them, I can't make your hair this week. Why don't you go to school with your afro hair? You see that child throwing tantrum. No, I can't go to school like that. My hair is messy. Everybody will be touching my hair. Everybody will be asking questions. They'll be asking, what happened to your long hair? Get used to it. If you have to go to school with your afro hair, go to school with your afro hair. Remember, that hair is what makes you unique as well. So why don't you rock it freestyle and just enjoy it already? There are other people that bleach their skin because they believe that the lighter my skin is, the more beautiful I am. Who sold you that lie? Who sold you that lie? Your melanin is beautiful. Rock it the way it is. Bleaching make people stink. It make people smelly. If you stop using that cream today, your skin is not going to remain white. So what is the reason that you are spending your time bleaching layers and layers and layers of your skin off? At the end of the day, it starts smelling funky, and there is also chances of skin cancer. Why would you want to hurt yourself intentionally or even out of ignorance because you want to look beautiful? Black is beautiful. There are different shades of black. Rock your black the way it is. Rock it and rock it fully in a stylish and in a beautiful way. Remember, our white counterparts, they also go on the sunbed to get their skin tan so that their skin can have a bit of melanin. And we, on the other hand, we are bleaching our skin in order for us to look white and pale. What is the confusion? Why are human beings never satisfied with what they have? We always prefer the things that we do not have. This is the reason why a lot of people, it affects their mental health. You know me, I love anything about our mental well-being, being sound, being great, and being holistic. If you want to have a good mental health, it is high time you get rid of the slave mindset where you are fearful because you show up with audacity, where you are fearful because you show up the way you are, because you feel like I'm too much. Who told you you're too much? Don't dim your light for anyone. It's time for us to get away that doubt, that fear, that worry that we might not blend in. Why do you have to blend in? Don't blend in. Stand out. You speak your voice. Be proud of your voice. Be proud of the way you look. Your lips is full. Be proud of it. Do you know that people are now injecting their lips with Botox in order for them to have the rounded, full African lips? And you, on the other hand, you are biting your tongue, biting your lips in order for you to hide your lips when you're speaking to people. What is absolutely the problem? You are made in the likeness and in the image of God. You are beautiful. You are awesome. You are amazing exactly the way you are. Hello there. I just want to ask you a favor to subscribe, like, and share to your friends, your neighbor, your colleagues, your family, your friends, and everybody that you know. I'm really working hard to ensure that I bring useful and valuable information that will help you with your mental and emotional well-being so that you begin to thrive authentically. You know, a lot of us will feel we have to wait until something happens before we become reactive. But with this podcast, I'm trying to give you information that will make you proactive so you don't even have anything to react to in the end because you are looking after yourself properly. So what are you waiting for? If you have been listening, please like, share, comment on anything that resonates with you. This will help to drive our visibility. And also, if there is any other topic that we have discussed that has been a trigger or that you feel you need support with, please visit www.asebconsultancy.com. There is a 15 minutes free consultation link that you can click on right there and book to speak to one of our counselors. Thank you so much for helping to drive visibility to this platform. And also, if you have been listening on Apple, Spotify, Audible, and every other um, podcast platform there, please follow us and keep sharing. Thank you so much. Back to the program now. Let me tell you one story. I remember when I sent my daughter to school with her afro hair, and our friends came to meet me at the end of school. Some of them even came with their parents and they were like, hi, hi, your mom. I'm like, hello. And they're like, please, can you do my hair like Ayos? I said, what do you mean? Like tie it into two ponytail? No, make it like the way the texture it is. I said, I'm sorry, darling. I can't do that for you because Ayo's hair is naturally afro and yours is silky because that's the way you were born. So unfortunately, I can't do it for you the way you want me to do it because Ayo's hair is natural and yours is natural. We cannot make your hair afro. Oh, and the mom was like, oh, it's so beautiful. It's so nice. I'm like, oh, thank you very much. Your afro, your afro look is beautiful. Rock it like that. Rock it like that. Your print, sew it into something very stylish and show up like that. Whenever I'm going to any event or conference, I always ensure I had a bit of my afro in it. Either in the way I dress, either in my fashion, in terms of my hairstyle, either in my bag or in my accessories, is just so beautiful. It makes you really, really stand out and look beautiful. Your identity, you're showing up with your full identity. For those of you that are putting your children in a widely populated school just because you want them to speak in certain way through their nose, we have to be very mindful because I've seen cases where children are isolated. They are isolated because, and it makes them feel very, very inferior sometimes because imagine every other person have their clique and your child is often on their own. How do you think that child is going to feel? Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't associate with other race. We should associate with other race. However, everything should be done in moderation. Do not leave your race just because you have some mindset about them, that anything about your race is inferior and anything about other people's race is more superior than yours. That mindset is a slave mentality. Wipe it off. Now, if you are exhibiting any of these things that I've discussed today, you feel like any product that is from Africa is inferior, you have slavery mentality. If you are one of those, you are not proud of your afro hair, you can't even wait as you're taking the extensions of you are fixing it again, as you're taking the extension of you are fixing it again, you have a slavery mentality. If you are one of those, you are toning your skin in order for your skin to be lighter than it should be, and you don't want your melanin, you have a slavery mentality. If you have done any of this, and I've told you, I used to have some of them as well. I have assessed myself. So if you want to assess yourself, pay attention. First, ask yourself the belief that you have. Where is it coming from? The belief that whenever you want to do business, you have to do it with someone else from another race and not from your people. Even though I know that our people are not perfect, same with other race, they are not also perfect. You have the cowboy contractors, you also have the cowboy black people, black contractors as well. However, there are so many competent contractors, so many competent professionals that are black as well. Why are you not giving them a chance? So when you want to do that, you need to ask yourself, why am I making this decision? Why am I making this choice? If you are hiding your Afro materials or Afro clothes under your suitcase, you only bring it out when you're going to church on Sunday, then ask yourself, why can't you wear it to work? I'm not asking you to wear buba and ro to work. I'm just saying, if you have the modern one, why can't you wear it to work? What is wrong with that? Right? Now, there are some cases now where our children are being penalized for showing up with Afro hairstyles. It shouldn't be like that. We should be able to advocate for our children to show up with their Afro hairstyles in school without being harassed. And there are some cases whereby you're telling your child, bring your hood down, bring your hood down, bring your hood down, don't do this, don't do that. Don't speak loudly. Bring your voice down. Speak very lowly. See, bring your volume down. It's like you just want to hide. I'm not encouraging people to be loud, but I'm encouraging people to be authentic. After all, it is Authentic Driving Podcast. So, identify your belief. Where is it from? If your belief is rooted on that fear, fear of who? If your belief is rooted on that doubt, what are you doubting? If your belief is rooted on that dependency on other races, where does it come from? How so? Where did you find that? And what can you do about it? So after you know, challenge your belief, you acknowledge that you are doing it like I did. Why do I not feel comfortable with my afro hair, even though it was difficult to style? Why don't you find other ways to style the hair so I'll be able to take it to work or to school like that? You can still wear extensions, but feel free to also have your afro hair out and let it get a bit of sunshine. So check your belief, acknowledge it, and then begin to ask yourself questions. What do I do in order for me to be able to make better changes? How do I change it? Make bold step and begin to walk yourself through this. What do I need to do? There are some people that when they want to buy a house, they have to buy a house in a very white area, and then your neighbor don't even speak to you. What is wrong with you buying a house because the area is very good? The fact that there are loads of people like yourself or from other races doesn't mean that the area is going to be more safe. It's not always the case. There are areas with professionals that have the same skin color as us, and that area is also very, very safe. So you need to talk about it openly, affirm yourself, and say to yourself that this is your identity, you cannot change it, and learn to love yourself just the way you are. Love yourself the way you are. We keep talking about racism, that people don't respect us, people segregate us. You are doing it yourself. We segregate ourselves. We don't appreciate the way we are. We don't appreciate things that come from us. We don't appreciate to be around each other. And then we're talking about racism. What are we talking about? We should start from home. Charity, they say, begins from home. And they begin to talk about it openly. Let your children see it. They are making these changes. Address this belief. Correct it with your children. Let them know their afro is beautiful. Let them know their accent doesn't have to be sounding so wherever they are from, wherever they, as in wherever country they are in, if you're outside of Nigeria, it doesn't have to sound like that. Their accent should be good English, well spoken, eloquent, audible, and that's fine. Okay. And then also our clothes. What is wrong with us wearing our clothes? Our food as well. And this is another thing that we do. We call it akara. And they were like, oh, it's fried beans. It's fried processed beans. What's fried processed beans? And then there's another one they call it pounded yam. Oh, it's like a mashed potato. It's mashed yam. There is no such thing as mashed yam. It is pounded yam, right? It is pando. That's what they call it. And then you're given different names. Like, have you ever seen an Asian person call their food English name? They call it the name from their country. If you cannot pronounce it, leave it. Sushi. What is the English version of sushi? Sushi is sushi. It's an Asian food. If you can't call it a Chinese food, if you can't call it sushi, forget about it. Shawarma. Do you see anybody go, oh, the English name is this? It is called shawarma. If you can't pronounce it, forget about it. The Indians have a rice that is almost like jollof rice. They call it biryani. If you can't pronounce biryani, forget about it. So when we have our African food, we have the akara. Let me tell you another funny story, right? So I used to teach food technology, and the students, we had Black History Month. Oh my goodness. I used to love October. October was one of my best months in my teaching years. So what I would do, I would have to incorporate that into the syllabus. And even my head teacher was so proud of it. Even showed it to the Ofsted inspectors when they came. She was proud of it because me, I was proud of my culture first before she became proud of it. You don't want people, you are complaining that people are not proud of your culture. You yourself, you're not proud of it. So I was proud of it. I told her, it's Black History Month. What are we doing in school? Because I want to bring African food to school. She was like, oh, Sonia, that's so interesting. I was like, yeah. So I brought okra. They made a goosey. They made beans. They made dodo. They made puff puff, right? They made fufu. And I didn't even notice it when I was talking to the student about this food. They started asking me, Miss, how come everything is pronounced twice? So what do you mean? Dodo, fufu, puff puff, moi moi. Oh, that was a funny one. And you know what I told them? I was like, oh, so that you'll be able to learn how to pronounce it faster. Because if you pronounce it puff, you wouldn't remember. So if you go puff puff, if you go moi moi, if you go dodo, if you go dudu, then you'll be able to remember, oh, really? I say, yeah. So you'll be able to learn how to pronounce it properly. How are you celebrating your culture? How are you celebrating your identity? How are you showing up with your identity and make other people go, wow, I want to know more about this culture? How are you showing up for it? Everything that I missed out, I am correcting it one after the other. So ask yourself your belief, where is it from? Acknowledge where the errors are from. Talk about it openly with your children. Let them be comfortable in their own skin. And if you are still struggling with it, come to me. I will help you. I will help you to reconnect to your identity. We must be delivered from post-traumatic slavery syndrome. And it starts with us. Let it end with our generation, where our children, they can wear African prints to their prom. They can wear their African prints anywhere. Have you seen the Asians? They wear their clothes everywhere. The next one I'm going to be tackling is the language barrier as well. I need to start teaching my children more of my language so that I can help them. That also is post-traumatic slavery syndrome. They're like, oh, when they start speaking my language, their accent is going to be ruined. Who told you your accent is going to be ruined? You can still speak very, very eloquently, and nothing is going to ruin your accent. We need to get off thinking that anything that is white is superior. When we are within the proximity of white people, it determines that we are posh. It determines that we are of high standard. That belief is a sad and a slavery mindset originated. That is a surviving conditioning that slavery has left behind for us, and we are still dwelling in it. We need to start breaking this stereotype and start moving forward. It start with me, it start with you. So we have come to the end of this podcast. What are you going to do about it? When are you going to stop shrinking in order to feel safe and accepted? When will your healing begin? My healing has begun and I feel liberated. Sometimes when the sun is too hot in the UK, I feel like removing my wig, but I can't. I start tapping my hair, tapping my head. It's so ridiculous. But right now, I can even pour a bit of water if the sun is too hot. And I'm not afraid if my wig is going to be ruined because it's my own natural hair. What are you going to do? Stop shrinking. Stop being ashamed of your people. Stop being ashamed of your identity. Be delivered from post-traumatic slavery syndrome. This has been Authentic Tribe Podcast. I hope you have enjoyed this. And also, you will take time to reflect and begin to make necessary adjustments and begin to celebrate your identity. Teach your children to also be confident in their identity, build their confidence. Build their confidence. My name remains Abia Sonia. I have been your host. Take care and God bless.